I mean, there's no secret that you have been doing some research with or involving Arsenal Football Club, and I think you have you have said that there's one quote by Arsene Wenger. It's a very public quote at a conference where he says something like, "Happiness is not paired with top performers," and maybe he's taking it a bit too far. But can you just explain that rationale? Why does he say that? Why does he believe that happiness isn't necessarily linked with the top player?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'm an authority on Arsene Wenger. Let me start by saying that. But with that said, there was certainly a collaboration a few years ago at Arsenal Football Club, and also I am fascinated with the man, his philosophy, what he has achieved, and so forth. And I've also seen some of those quotes where he's saying that the comfort zone is the biggest enemy of performance in top sport, and top athletes are dissatisfied individuals. They're not happy individuals. Now, sometimes when I see these quotes, I'm suspecting that Arsene Wenger is really talking about himself, and that he has this type of mindset towards what he has achieved, which is this really extremely disciplined person that of course he has disclosed in his autobiographies and so forth, that just goes to this really painstaking lengths to do the right things, to get the work done, and to make his teams win. So I think there's something to that, but I've also seen him talk about in other interviews where that you have a certain personality that is in this direction, that is the very ascetic kind of high willpower personality that will do what it takes in the day to get results in the long run. But there are, we call it the lighter type of person that is floating a little bit more around. It's a little bit more playful. It's a little bit more harmonious, a little bit more holistic in lifestyle and so forth. And that this personality can also achieve great things in football as in life.
Do you think there's a distinction or difference between managers versus top players, that some mentalities, because you see some players do exceptionally well as managers, you see some managers who aren't top players become managers on the very top. Do you have any suspicions, or have you done any research to just look at managers and not football players necessarily?
So personally, I haven't done the research on managers, um, but I've been around a few, and so of course I have some speculations about some of these things. Now, in one way, I think it's a lot of the same processes that are necessary to become a top player and a top manager, because what they have in common is, of course, the context of elite football, which is, if you think of it, how many hundred millions are trying to be good at this. This is an extremely competitive industry, which I think it makes it fascinating for just to study human performance. Because if there are 300 millions who are waking up every day thinking about how good they want to become at football, and you study the top, 50 individuals in this sport, you know that these people have something very special about them that made them successful. So, and players did this, and managers also did this. They all, at least, players and managers at the highest level, they were all able to get this far with a combination of skills, mentality, routine, structure, and so forth and so forth. So I think that just as a study of human performance, I think both are incredibly interesting. Now, what managers also need to do is obviously managing. So they're managing people, they're leaders in a different way, and that of course requires a whole different skill set. And one thing that I've really been struck by over and over again, when I've had the fortune to meet some of these, global superstar managers, is that they're just incredibly good with people. They're just so amazing in their ability to communicate, form relationships. I mean, um, at least the ones that I've met, so many of them make you feel like you are an incredibly important person for them when you just literally just met them and you spend 5 minutes in their presence. And this ability, I think, is something that they are able to convert into successful teams and successful performances with their teams.